Timberwolves fans, yesterday we traded for four-ish different players on four different trades with our competitors from the West, some of our rivals, and I talked through why we might actually try to help or hinder our rivals by trading for some things. Today I thought we would maybe do that with the East. Four teams that I think might be looking to transition off to some guys. They're in a different point of their kind of franchise features, and we could benefit from trading for them. Uh, Now, why would I do this? Well, I've gotten plenty of questions about who's going to be bringing up the ball for the Timberwolves this last little bit here. Plenty of people thinking I don't think that we need a point guard, getting rid of Dante and Rob together. Whatever. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I think Mike Conley and whoever else I'm bringing in could do it. So let's get right into it. You see the four teams here: the Heat, the Wizards, the Pistons, and the Raptors. Now, each of those teams are in a weird spot. The Heat, they have some contracts that they could look to start to offload, whether that's, waiving guys or trading them just to dump the salary. The Wizards suck. The Pistons made the playoffs, but they couldn't win a playoff game. Feels like they maybe could trade for one more little piece that could elevate them to make at least the conference finals this year seems achievable. And the Raptors, of course, don't know where they're at, to be honest. Like, they're in just kind of no man's land. They have a good roster of guys, like they have a lot of names. Now it's just, can they put it all together and make a playoff run? Easier said than done. And the Timberwolves, we could value from each of those teams trying to do that and build up our own side of things just to meet them in the finals, beat the living crap out of them. So this first one here with the Heat, let's get into it. We're trading just one guy. The Heat are looking to dump some cap. And doing so, they're not taking on a ton of money here. They're only taking on 52,000 to be exact. And we're gonna be trading them Rudy Gobert. I'm sure you're sitting there wondering why would they want Bam and Rudy. Well, if you didn't know, the East, they have some big guys out there East. I know we have some good centers in the West, but I think the East honestly has better centers than the West. It's more of like the top of the top in the West is really good, but the bottom of the bottom is not so good. The East, it's just good throughout. Like it's just flat even. So we'd be giving him Rudy, obviously, to pair alongside Bam Adebayo. And we know that as of today, the Heat are looking to trade or get rid of, buy out Terry Rozier, but he has no interest in a buyout because he doesn't think anyone's going to sign him. Hey, Terry, I'd take you on the Timberwolves. You still got it ish. Scary Terry. Let's see if the 2017 2018 Terry can come back and be the villain that he was on the Celtics. Alongside him, we'd be trading for Kel'el Ware. Yeah, I want that guy. I have a lot of faith in Kel'el Ware. I like what he did last season as a rookie. And then obviously, one more piece in this would be Jaime Jaquez Jr. I think he's still in there somewhere. That rookie year that he had, I think that Jaime is still in there. We just got to bring it back out. We just got to find him. Let's get him a new look, a new place to live, and maybe it will come out. We've seen it happen with other guys. Nickel Alexander Walker. He wasn't necessarily a household name on the other teams he was on, but as soon as we got him on the Wolves, Buddy's signing a $20 million contract with the Falcons, wrong Atlanta team, football on the mind. He's signing that with the Hawks, and we can't have him back. So let's fill that position with someone like a Jaime Jaquez Jr. I think it makes a lot of sense trading for three role guys and getting rid of Rudy. Rudy's contract is only going to get bigger. The Heat could take it on because they're probably going to look to move on from Wiggins. And it's just going to be Adebayo and Rudy. And Adebayo's not going to want to be there much longer. And the Heat probably won't want to keep him much longer. But I think they fit in nicely together with Davion Mitchell and Andrew Wiggins and the rest of the bunch down there. And Tyler Hero, too. I guess he's there, whatever. I don't think much of Tyler Hero at this point. But what can you do? Let's go on to the next one here. Now, the Wizards, guys, they're ass. Plain and simple. That's the best word I can use. Like, they got nothing to look forward to. They've got some cool young pieces in Alexander Sarr and some other guys, but they can't keep them all. You're not going to find minutes. You're not going to start winning games with that many young guys. So, let's work out a trade here. I think this one makes a lot of sense in the fact that we need to get younger in some spots, and that might take getting rid of some youth, but that's okay. So in this mock trade here, I have us getting Bilal Coulibaly from the Wizards, along with Bub Carrington. I think both of them are exceptional players. I have a lot of faith in Belil still. It seems like the Wizards weren't using him as much last season as they were the year before. He still has 2 years on a $7 million a year contract. That's nice. We could look to extend him from there or just trade him or let him walk, is what it is. Bub Carrington, I think he has a lot of potential and he is showing that more and more. Um, I really have a lot of faith in both of these young guys, and what we're giving up, I think, makes sense. Giving them Rob Dillingham, let the Wizards figure him out. You know, Jordan Poole was there. Like they clearly have had some success with um, rejuvenating young guards. Like obviously Poole was in a better spot career wise than Rob Dillingham was when he got traded there. But I think Rob could fit in nicely there, and there'd be a lot more playing minutes for him, and he'd be able to develop. And then with that, we're also going to send Dante. Um, they're going to need shooting on the Wizards. Corey Kispert can only shoot so much. Be a great spot for Dante to land, in my opinion. Honestly, I think that is best case scenario for him. Again, more playing minutes. It's kind of like if Klay Thompson went there. That's how I feel about Dante landing there. Is like he's going to shoot a ton of shots, and it's probably going to turn out better for his career. Just my opinion, but I think this makes a lot of sense for the Timberwolves in the fact that we need guys who look like they're ready this year or next year, and not someone like Rob who might take another 2 seasons, 3 seasons, the rest of his rookie contract, and we're stuck there being like, we got a team option on him. Like, what are we supposed to do with him? Like, extend him a little bit? Like, it's not going to make sense for much longer. So I think we need to take a shot on two young guys like Belil and Bub, uh, the BBs, the killer bees, if you will. Moving along here, the Pistons. Now, how many of you are familiar with the Tobias Harris bump? Every time he gets traded from a team, the next season the team that him traded for him gets a bigger bump in their wins. It's happened everywhere he's gone. It's absolutely wild. And the team that he leaves, it's okay. They don't have an awesome season. So is Tobias Harris actually good for a team? Is it a weird coincidence? Yes, absolutely is a weird coincidence. So Timberwolves seeing this, being the geniuses that Tim Conley and the rest of the front office are, they'd be like, "We'll take it. We'll take on that contract any day of the week." So this one is questionable. I am gonna say that it is absolutely, positively questionable. But we do save some cap room, so that's pretty cool. We're giving up Julius Randle. Yeah, I know that's not a super popular opinion right now. He did just sign, but we'd be looking to make this trade at the trade deadline or something like that, maybe. And then obviously Mr. Leonard Miller, who's been mentioned almost every video at this point. We're getting back Tobias Harris. That's super cool. And then we're getting back Marcus Sasser. Young guard, again, like we could go for a young guard. It feels like we need a young point guard, someone who might just kind of explode into something. And Marcus Sasser is a great option in that. Great college player. Hasn't had a lot of opportunity on the Pistons. They've absolutely buried their depth chart with guards after burying it with centers a few years ago. So, Tobias Harris bump. Is it worth it? Probably not. That's a 1 year, $26 million contract we'd be taking on an expiring contract as a team that's in their championship window. Typically not what you want to do. Julius Randle did just sign 3 years, 30 mil each of those years. Not something we probably want to give up. That is an affordable contract at this point, believe it or not, especially for someone his age and with the experience he has. This one is a little less reasonable, but I think it is interesting at least to just be like, what if Tim Conley's sitting there being like, do I trade for Tobias Harris just to see if the bump continues, or do I just roll with what we've got? You know, like, he's enough of a sicko that I probably think he is thinking that. Like, he went and got Rudy Gobert back after he traded him away on draft night. Years later, teams later, he's back and he is trying to get Rudy back. And he did it. You know? Like, that's just the type of guy he is. Lastly, I think this one makes a bit of sense in the fact that the Raptors could punch into the win now mentality, and this trade could fix them, I think. Now, Jakob Poeltl is a great center. I think he is serviceable. He's on an affordable deal at $19 million a year, and they would actually be trading him, Ochai Agbaji, and Grady Dick for Rudy Gobert straight up. That's it. That's the trade. We get 2 young guards. Again, I'm focused on getting us some guards who could bring up the ball or at least be shooters and facilitate off the bench at least. Jakob Poeltl will move into our starting center. I would keep him starting and let Nas come off the bench still. I think it still makes sense. But that's kind of the trade. The Raptors could benefit from it in the fact that Rudy is a starting center for sure, without question, and they could absolutely capitalize the rest of their year. They Emmanuel quickly. I'm spacing now. Brandon Ingram and the rest of the guys there, like Scotty Barnes, they need someone like Rudy next to them at this point, just because they don't have someone with that much experience in winning a ton of games. So it kind of makes it important that they go and get someone like Rudy or adjacent enough that they could start to win a little more games. Because if they're not, it's going to be RJ Barrett getting traded and not Jakob Poeltl. If that makes any sense to you guys, like Barrett's 25 and he fits in much better with the rest of these guys than Jakob Poeltl does at damn near 30. So those are the trades I have for you, though. If you think these make any sense, let me know. I would love to hear your guys' opinion on these 4. I love doing the trades, especially when we can go conference to conference, day to day. Switch things up a little bit, get some nice bench depth for everything. That's pretty much it. Until next time, you guys take care.